Hey y'all, welcome to day 20 of the Visibility Challenge. I'm Bree, the BREE, and today I am going to talk a little bit more about this challenge and why I started it because I have had so many of you reaching out to me and telling me that this is changing some real shit for y'all and that you are wanting to participate. You're wanting to do your own visibility challenge and you want to know more about why I'm really doing this, like what my intention is behind this, and why I chose such a long challenge. A year is a really long time, every single day to commit to something. And for a lot of us, it can feel overwhelming. For me, I knew the only way that I was going to make any real change within, and I was going to be able to break up with the fears and the blocks that I had around being visible, was to do it for at least, at minimum, a year. And I wanted to do it because deep down, I knew without a doubt that I can. And if I didn't do it, it was because I was talking myself out of it. I was following false notions, things that were not my real belief. They were fears of others and voices of others. So, the whole reason that I am doing this is because for the majority of my life, and I know I'm not alone here, I was too much. I was flat out told that I was too much, that I was too loud, too energetic, too this, too that. I just needed to sit down and be quiet. And I needed to lessen myself in every single way. And it got to a point in my life where I couldn't do anything right. Like I could be in school coloring and they would be like, well, that's not how you color it. Well, that's not the color that you're supposed to use. Or, they just took my creativity and just put it right out. They did not want me to be me. And as I got older, I found people that liked parts of me, but they also were very in the same boat where they were also told not to be this way, or they had all of these other voices, other fears from other people that were keeping them small as well. So when they would see me start to be alive and lit up and energized, they would enjoy that in certain moments and it would scare them in other moments. And now that I know that people's reactions and thoughts and all of these things have nothing to do with me and everything to do with how they feel about themselves and their own experience, I understand fully that I chose the wrong path, but I also understand why I needed to choose this path. And I needed to understand why everybody else also fell into this pattern of lessening themselves for, especially for people that we didn't even want to be like. We didn't even like to listen to. We just had to listen to them. So it just became a whole process of fitting in. And we learned how to mask who we truly are. And we learned how to hide away from the world. And I got really, really, really good at hiding away. And for the most part, I just wanted to go in my room. I just wanted to go in my room and be alone where nobody could tell me what I was doing was wrong or I had to change it. I didn't want their opinions or their input. I was exhausted. I just wanted to be me. So over the years, I developed this thing, this coping mechanism, and this way of life where I showed up at like 1% of who I actually am. And then I would go home to my safe space and I would be myself. But the more that I did that, the more of my actual self I lost. And the more I wasn't dancing, I wasn't playing, I wasn't having fun, I wasn't like singing around the house. I wasn't just moving my body however it felt good. I wasn't crawling around, jumping around. I just kind of got lazy. And when I would go home, I was so exhausted from masking all day and trying to fit in to a world that I didn't even feel like I really wanted to be a part of. So I was just exhausted, but I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't know the path to finding any more of what it was that I wanted. And when I would think about it, everything just felt so far away and so impossible and just like a joke of a dream. And eventually I woke up and I just didn't know myself anymore. And the version of myself that I knew, I didn't really enjoy. And I started having these overwhelming like feelings of wanting to run away. But I tried. I tried to run away from people. I tried to run away from places. I switched jobs. I switched towns. I switched houses. I switched friend groups. I switched activities, hobbies, shows, movies, like anything I could do to try to think of ways to change who I was. And at the end of the day, I came back to the same conclusion that the only way I was ever going to get what I wanted was if I could get away from myself. And I realized I really don't like being me. I really don't like who I am. I don't like how lost I feel. I don't like how overwhelming this all feels. I don't like the life that I've built. It feels like I'm just in this never-ending loop of what I have to do and what I'm always going to have to do. And I'm never going to not have to do these things or be this version of myself. And it was so depleting. It just stole all my energy. And it wasn't like anyone's fault because I see all these other creative people that say, yeah, these people did the same exact thing to me. And then I was just like, fuck it. I'm not going to listen. And they did what they wanted. But I wasn't brave enough to do what I wanted. And I was not brave enough, or I didn't even know that that was an option, honestly. Because every time I tried, I ended up in trouble. I ended up getting reprimanded, power exerted over me in ways that were really unfair. And I mean, that's what my second book is basically all about, is me trying so hard to get out from under these terrible teachers and these terrible situations. And I couldn't. And it just felt like I was trapped. And so then when I was older, I actually couldn't even do fun things. Like there was one time I agreed to go on a party bus, but I did not want to go on the party bus. Typically, I never rode the bus. I would drive and meet them there because I was terrified of being trapped anywhere, because my whole life I felt trapped by these adults, by these powerful situations that I didn't have any control in. So anything that meant you might be trapped and you might not be able to do what you actually want to do, I avoided it at all costs. And it's so funny because that party bus that I I finally was like, I'm going to face this fear. It broke down and I was stuck there for hours, but we made the best of it and it was fun. And I allowed it to break me free instead of sending me more into the deep end of I'm never doing anything again. However, I'm very, very cautious still to this day of what I agree to because I do need a certain level of time alone and quiet and space. And a lot of that comes from my hearing loss. So I am like on paper and everything that I am almost all the way deaf. And I have been this way for the majority of my life. But I grew up in a hearing world and I did not have any accessibility tools. There was no ASL for me. There was no interpreters or, nobody was giving me like written instructions, nothing. In fact, it was the opposite. And every time I tried to express what I needed or express how I was struggling, I had these teachers that I wrote about in book 2 that refused to hear me, refused to help me, and instead called me stupid, called me names, called me out in class, made fun of me every opportunity they had, and they completely broke me. They completely broke me because I had no idea that people could be that mean, and I really had no idea that adults could be that mean, and I triple had no understanding that teachers could be mean. I thought that teachers and cops and firefighters and like these were like the elite careers when we were growing up. These were the kind people who all they wanted to do to help or was help. And I thought they were the safest spaces on earth. So when these things started happening to me, not only was I understanding that I was wrong in my assumptions and wrong in what I previously thought I knew, but I would have argued that to the death that I was correct. And to have something be so completely wrong made me feel so stupid. And from that point on, I was like, I'm never going to assume that I am 100% right. I'm always going to operate on this notion that there's more than one truth. Multiple things can be true. Some teachers can be that, and other teachers cannot. It depends on the human. And I became an ultimate observer. And I had to, or I was going to be eaten alive because I couldn't even hear what was happening. So I had to get so quick to understand energy, body language, all the things that are between the lines that people aren't even really saying or, showing. And I got so good at that. And it made me the ultimate teller of truth. So even when I could hear words, I knew when they were lies. I knew when they were wrong. I knew when something was off. And unfortunately, that understanding made me want to learn more. But it made me dive into situations that I knew something was wrong. I knew that they were lying. I knew this wasn't safe. But I wanted to know why. I wanted to know if I was right. Because I was never, and still to this day, I never operate as if I am 100% right. I show up like there can be multiple truths and there are many sides, and I want to understand more deeply. And it's served me well, but it's also put me in some incredibly dangerous and scary situations. And it taught me a lot about what I can survive and not only survive, but thrive through and learn in. And it separated me from the entire world. And normal fears that people would have, I don't have. But their fears were still able to get in and influence me. And it made me feel like maybe I should be more afraid than I am. And maybe I should listen to them. And maybe this is the time that I can't get out of this. And that took away a lot of what my purpose and my passion is as well. It took me away from my personal path. I am very unique here and it's needed here. And if I allow the belief of others and the fear of others to dictate my direction, I'm going to miss my path. And I did that over and over and over again, where I knew the path I should take, but then I let them talk me out of it last second. And then I went the way they wanted me to go. And that always led me farther away from myself. Granted, I am the ultimate believer in you're not missing your purpose. You're not missing your path. You're just taking a longer way. You're taking a scenic route. And I was choosing the scenes that I didn't want to see, but there was still beauty in them. And I could still learn a lot there, and I could still enjoy what everyone else was showing me. But this part of my life is about taking my own scenic routes and paving my own path. And when I hit the road and I sold my house and I bought an RV and I went out on the road for 3.5 years, that's exactly what I did in real life. And now I understand how to do that for myself and how to be stronger than the voices and the fears and the personal experiences that they have had themselves. I understand how to separate from myself from others to where I can hear them fully, but it doesn't affect me. I don't take it on. It doesn't change me or what I know is right for me. It just deepens my understanding of others and my ability to connect with others and my ability to honestly just be in their experience without making it about me. I can relate things that I've been through to help them understand where they're not alone and to help them see other paths, because a lot of times that's what happens is people come to me and they're stuck and they can't see anywhere that they can even go. They think they're trapped. And so when I use my own story to relate and to show them how I found these different paths, it helps them find their own paths. It's not something for them to replicate or for them to like step by step do what I did, but it gives them an understanding on how to go within and to find their own paths. And it's beautiful. And over the last I think it's been like 5 years or something. I'm really bad with time because time isn't really real for me. I run on energy. But for the last few years, I've really stepped into this version of myself. And I started off coaching and guiding and doing all these different things. And then I decided I just wanted to make myself a conversationalist. I wanted to have convos and not be viewed as a therapist. I didn't want to go to school the rest of the way because I was in school to actually be a psychiatrist. I started off in school to be a forensic psychiatrist, and I just really wanted to understand people. I wanted to understand the behavior of people. And the more I learned, the more I realized what I was really going for was being a psychoanalyst. I really enjoy the long talk therapy and putting patterns together and all of these things. But the schooling came with so many rigid rules and so many ways that you could fuck up and fail and be reprimanded. And I felt like I was in such a tiny box all over again. And that wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for the path that allowed me to do it my way and to learn the way that I needed to learn and the way that just built my natural abilities. And that wasn't it. And life showed me that that was not it. And I faced more teachers that were bullies, and instead of standing up for myself, I just decided this is enough. I'm not going to go a traditional route. And I started understanding that I was okay with the path being extremely scenic. I was okay if I didn't do anything significant until I was 50. I didn't care how long it took me to figure it out. I just wanted to be me. And I wanted to be free to be me. And I wanted to be loved for being me. And I wanted community and connections that were, when they didn't understand me, they would ask questions to understand me better. And they would use that to open themselves up more and meet themselves more. I didn't want people to try to change me and quiet me. And I didn't want to dull my shine anymore. I was exhausted. And if I had to go through that one more time, I just felt like I'd rather die. I'd just rather be done. I didn't want to play anymore. It was my way or the highway, like Fred Durst says. And I don't know, y'all. I just started being me, and I came to life. And then I saw where I would slide back and try to fit in again. And I saw how much my weight fluctuated, and I allowed myself actually to slide all the way back and gain a lot of weight back, and to just be lazy and tired and just to feel the exhaustion. And then one day I realized the only way I'm getting out of this is if I just be me out loud. If I just do what all those creatives do and did and just say, fuck it. I am going to be me fully, rawly. No editing. I'm going to give the entire world what my closest people get. And I am no longer going to be afraid. I am no longer going to mask and hide all my things. And I'm no longer walking on eggshells. I'm no longer trying to build a life around all these chaotic and such delicate emotions. I'm just going to be myself. And if somebody has a problem, they can come have a conversation with me. And if they can't do it kindly, they do not have to see me. They don't have to watch. They don't have to listen. They don't have to interact with me in any way, shape, or form. And those are the same people, y'all, that they just will stalk you. I'm not even kidding. If you're like, I want to get out here and do this, the people that hate you the most will absolutely stalk you. I actually blocked a whole lot of them because I was like, you obviously can't do this yourself. So I will block me for you. I will make this easy so that you can stop being so angry all the time, and you can stop hurting and being so offended and all of these things. And y'all, I have people that made fake accounts just to follow me, just to get on there. I have people that they'll have their friends let them on their accounts, and they get on just to see what I'm doing. And it is the craziest use of energy. But it also tells me that they don't actually hate me. They hate something about themselves, and they can't connect it. All they can connect is that I trigger it and I make them feel this way. And until they can change their focus to within and why I bother them, what about themselves is this making them see, they will just feel this way forever. They will behave this way forever. And it's not for me to fix. It's not for me to reach out and try to force or any of that. That is their own shit. And I just got to let them be in their shit. And if I take it on and I let it change me and I let it keep making it so that I don't hit record and I keep being afraid and I keep playing it small, I'm going to keep needing a vacation from myself. And the only person that's really hurting is me and all the people that really need what I'm saying. All the people that love me and want more of me. I'm hurting us. And one day that just broke me, y'all. I was like, God, I've been playing for a team that does not even appreciate my talents. I've been carrying this team at times and they don't even acknowledge it. They don't even appreciate, they don't want me there, they don't anything. Why am I working so hard to impress a team that doesn't even want me on their team? And they make it crystal clear when I have this whole ass team over here that does. And they're begging me to come over here. They're like, please, Bree, please give me more of this. Be more you. Do these things. Make the retreats. Make the meetups. Do more of this. Go live. I can't get enough of this. Why have I not been giving them my energy? Why have I not been giving me my energy? Why have I been so scared? Why have I let the negative be so big? And then I just decided I got to do the visibility challenge and I've got to start it today. And it was the most imperfect day to start it. My birthday was so wild, which honestly was fitting because the day of my actual birthday was just full of chaos and growth. And that's really all I want is growth. And so I got a beautiful 2 days before my birthday, and then I got a day of challenge. And the day that I knew I was starting this, life said, let's see. Because that's the funniest part about that. It's the most ironic part that I have learned in this is that, well, one of them, because there's so many, but one of the most ironic things that I have learned on this journey is that the minute you feel ready, at least for me, the minute I feel ready is the minute life goes, but are you? But are you? Let me lap something your way and let's see how you handle it. Let's see if you handle this like you think you're going to handle this. And I quickly see where I'm not. And I quickly see what needs to change. And I quickly see where I'm still struggling. And then I know this is a moment for me to choose something different, to breathe, to center, and to align with who I am right now, who I want to be right now in this present moment, how my best, highest frequency self handles this moment when I am my absolute best, most me version I've ever been in my life. And every single time I go, shit, it ain't this. And I breathe and I center and I know right away what it is I need to do. It's compassion. It's empathy. It's peace. It's real conversations without all the emotion. And I do that. And I get more of what I need. And I become more easily and more consistently this version of myself. So this visibility challenge is for me. It's for you. It's for the ones that want to be here. No editing, no script, no sitting down and overthinking. It's literally just sitting down one time every day, taking a breath, hitting record, and whatever comes out, that is what's coming out. I throw captioning on and I make sure to the best of my ability that they are correct. And I do that for myself because accessibility is so important to me. And I want everybody to be able to take it in the form that they need it. And I'm just trying my best with what I have and what I know and what I can do. And anything negative that comes back, I'm learning how to be more honest. I've decided that from this point on, if anyone ever tries to be mean to me the way that they have been mean to me in the past, I'm no longer protecting identities. From now on, I will screenshot and I will put their full name up and I will talk about what's happening. I am never going to protect somebody's identity anymore in real time. I protect the past because I don't know where they've changed or how they've grown. And I don't want something from decades ago to come back and now be who they are because I don't know who they are. But if in real time you want to take time out of your day to intentionally try to be hurtful to me, I will just put it up and I will let the world see who you are right now so that you can see who you are right now. I'm no longer afraid. I'm no longer afraid of the consequences of what that will bring or more hate that would bring back. I think that it's a place we need to have deeper conversations. We need more real, radical transparency, and we need more accountability. These little, keyboard bullies, I'm over it. I'm over it. And honestly, I haven't had any hate really in a long time. So maybe that was me jinxing myself. Let me knock on this wood desk. But I'm ready for it. So it's like whatever needs to come my way, I trust in my ability to be myself. I trust in my ability to take something negative and turn it into something positive and enlightening and a place of growth. I am understanding that I can use it as a place to connect with others because I'm surely not alone in these moments. And I'm going to let people know if you're coming here to be that person, you're going to need to take accountability for who you are, what you say, and how you're showing up. That's it. If you don't want to talk about it, I suggest you stay away from me. But I'm having fun and I am coming to life. And now all the things that I've been holding back on, I'm no longer holding back on. So you're going to see more like sign language videos because I've been so afraid to even honestly use it or learn it because so many people are like, well, you're hearing, but I'm not. I'm just in a hearing world. And I've been holding myself back from my own accessibility because of all the hate that people get in trying to teach per se ASL online. Well, that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't even do ASL. I use ASL words, but I follow an English flow. And when I get into that and I talk about that, I will have what that is called. It keeps escaping me and I keep calling it the wrong thing. It starts with a P, but I don't want to get that wrong here today. And it will be a video on its own. But that's what it's about. I'm having fun and I am coloring however I want to color and I'm dancing and singing and moving my body and I am walking around with my Rode mics feeling like a radio DJ. When I was a kid, I used to do that all the time and it was a blast. I'm bringing back the places I had the most fun. And I am just all the way being myself. And if you don't like that, I understand it's because you don't like yourself. And I understand it's because you're not where you want to be and you probably want a vacation from yourself. I've been where you are and I understand it, but I also understand you don't need to be mean to others and that's never going to get you what you want. So this visibility challenge is a challenge to show up every single day for myself and to be vulnerable and be honest and have fun. And anyone that is feeling pulled to this, start your own visibility challenge. Do it however it feels right to you. Break free. Tag me. I love that. I love that stuff. And I don't know. I just truly think that if this pulls you and inspires you, there's something meant for you here. And this is a place for you to come more to life as well. That's all I got for you today, guys. Remember, nothing meant for you will miss you. We're just learning. You can take any path you want and learn, and you can still come back to the same place that you were always going. You'll show up differently, though, if you take in what you see and what you learn along the way.